Hi and welcome back to the Form Pro review of the Caulfield Cup weekend and other races from Rotorua and one from Ashburton. First of all, the highlight had to be Faulkner winning the Caulfield Cup. Fantastic ride from Nick Hall to get him out on from the start onto that fence even before the winning post for the first time. And I was thinking during the race, just wait as long as you can, and he just waited and waited and waited, and he could have followed that thing through on the inside. I think it was Kalini. But he chose to get off the fence and track into it, push Solomon Achieva out of the way and go through that gap. And I thought, come on, get out in that turn, and he got out. And I thought he's going to be hard to beat from here. As Nick Williams said, we're in business here. And they sure were. I knew with his very strong, powerful finishing burst, he was going to be really hard to beat. In fact, what put me onto him was last year when he won that Flemington race. And really good, strong pace, and came off and ran a really strong last 600 metres for really good tempo. And this horse was the real deal. And see, they were offered some money, and the money didn't eventuate in the bank account, so they hung on to the horse. And Dad Lloyd hatched the plan of the Caulfield Cup. Great move. And in his first two runs, I wasn't aware he was at the Caulfield Cup, and not sure if many other people were too, but I was thinking, what are they doing with this horse? You know, he's grinding home, and they must be setting for something like the Cox Plate, Caulfield Cup and Melbourne Cup. Then it was revealed that he was being set for the Caulfield Cup, and I said, yeah, all fell into place. Good strong horse, relaxes nicely, and that run at the Turnbull was just perfect run for this race, Caulfield Cup. Got out, he was in the open far too long down the straight, and fought on really well for fifth. So he did look the one to me to get cover and off a decent tempo. They only averaged 12.53 seconds per 200 metres to the 600 metre mark, so it wasn't a really strongly run race, and the overall time was nothing startling, 2:29 and a bit I think it was. So I haven't analysed all the sectionals yet, but it was a really good one. I felt Dandino was sweating up a bit before the start, and he's one probably that can go on to the Melbourne Cup and be a chance. I don't know if I'd back him in the Melbourne Cup. Dear Demi, nice run through on the inside there by James, good ride. Jetta Wade, a bit too keen, had to go early, and stuck on really well for fourth. And Solomon Achieva, must be frustrating for the owners of this horse, because she could have picked up so many races, like the Windsor Park Plate was there for the taking, plus the Spring Classic. She would have won that if she'd started on that. And so what do they do now? Do they press on to the Melbourne Cup? She got a few cuts and knocked around a bit, so I just couldn't see her winning. That's a stronger field, that Melbourne Cup field. I just can't see her winning that. So if she was mine, I'd cut the losses and bring her back here for Christmas. The Zabeel Classic's obviously a nice race for her, another weight for age races. So she'd really dominate over here, I think, against the weaker horses. Not weaker, but not as good as horses in Australia and those European horses. So that's what I'd be doing. Moriarty ran on nicely. What else? Nothing else really. Not Managar. Yeah, Moriarty ran nicely, but yeah, good strong win by Faulkner. Probably going to the Melbourne Cup. Gets up in weight, obviously, so going to be harder for him and a tougher field. And the other horse on the day, Red Tracer. I made her the value bet of the day. What put me onto her was her run at Sydney, fresh up. I knew she'd go really well second up, since she just looked ahead to that run at Sydney. Had to work hard and fought really hard for second, so I knew she was spot on for that race at Caulfield. And $4.80 she was available at Friday, and came into $3.50 I think it was, and was just too good in that mare's race. Bet of the day, Costa Viva. What I liked about her was she jumped well, showed speed to get third out, a perfect run. She relaxed nicely, so she really had to win from there, otherwise she'd be in trouble for the 1,000 guineas. And she hit the front probably too early, but Matt Cameron probably had no choice. Chambord got out, chased her down, but he hasn't got the sprint and sharpness she's got. But a nice run by Chambord. Obviously a Derby type with the breeding he's got. But, Costa Viva $8 still for the 1,000 guineas, and I think that's good value. I think she's a horse, obviously that bounding, second to bounding was really good. Good strong sectionals compared to the open handicap, and I think she's right in that race. The ones to beat obviously is bounding. She trialled nicely the other day, I'll see. Just bring the market here. 1,000 guineas, we're over there. And bounding is still favourite. Spellbinder, $4, too short. Obviously won well at Ellerslie, but didn't beat anything like bounding or Costa Viva. So Sarton Memorial is going to be interesting on Labour Day. It's going to tell a few stories. Fantastic Honour, obviously up to a mile is going to be suit her. Miss Foxwood was impressive, but weaker field obviously. Stella's Honour. A few got it on at sort of big odds up to 101 to 1 before he won at Avondale, where we got stuck into her, and yeah, a few will be cheering her along, I tell you. And it's hard to see anything below that. Kate Napoli won well at Tauranga, nice and strong looking now, but I think those top 4 or 5 will outclass her. But looking forward to that carnival. We've obviously got going to Guns at 5 now. Guns at 5 at Rotorua. I think even Chris Wood was surprised by the win, and I wasn't too surprised. I knew he was a really good stayer, and when he settled sort of midfield on the fence, he had to be in with a chance, and got out and was all over on the turn, just getting eased out of the end. So he's right on track for that New Zealand Cup, and hopefully, I know a lot of subscribers are on at double figure odds, so he's into $5 now, which is about right obviously, but still a long way to go. Nearly mid-November, so still 3 or 4 weeks to go, and the weather will play a big part. But the long range forecast does look pretty good, so he's in with a real chance. He goes up to a rating of 97, and if Ransom stays in the field, he's about 6 or 7 rating points higher, so he's going to get him with about 56 max, probably 56. He may start on that first day, the 2,500 metre race, just to top him off at the Cup, or he may go somewhere else. Chris will work out the right plan for him. He knows the horse really well, obviously, and well, maybe not too if they run on Saturday. Actually, I was up at when I was up at OTAC, I was speaking to his son Tom Wood, and he said the same thing. They were expecting a nice run, 3rd or 4th, and didn't expect him to win. But yeah, Tom was really pleased to see him winning. That was a good win, and good friend of mine got the bonus quaddie with him. And so he was really pleased, about cut off the $9,000. So well done there with Larmour in the first leg. It was a decent bonus quaddie with Costa Viva being an obvious anchor. So good on you if you got that bonus quaddie. Go back to Costa Viva. She did run a really good time. And the way she relaxed, I think she's got a really good chance in that 1,000 guineas. What else? Okay, Viadana. Probably my favourite mare. I didn't even pick her or back her. I was quite annoyed at that. But came settled off the pace. They didn't go too hard up front. They buttoned off mid-race. So she had to be good to come from where she did, and ranged up, and was a bit too strong for Gina Hart. But it was a good run, and she's going to go on and pick off some of the good weight for age and fillies and mares races over the next few months. So good tough mare, has early pace if she needs it, and she's good. While I was up at Otaki, I walked the track before the first race, and you could see that the inside was off on the turn or on the bend, and around from the about the 1800 metre mark to the end of the back straight, it was still pretty real on the inside there. So anything coming out wider on the turn with that camber, nice camber there too in the bend, and with that cross breeze coming from the back straight to the front straight, we could see that any horse that was on the outer is going to get a shelter from that crosswind, be hard to beat. And a horse like North and South looked an obvious one in that second race, and home it rolled, and he's a nice horse, and I think he'll go with it. And while I was there, I was really impressed with Lisa Latter's horses, the way they were turned out and looking really good. And Karen Zimmerman, had a chat to her, and she was really pleased with her win on Valley Queen, and so was a young apprentice called Amy Taylor. In fact, while I was up there, I did a little documentary on Amy, so I've always been keen to do something about a young apprentice coming through the ranks, and David Walsh told me that she's a really promising young rider who's learning all the time and developing her skills, and I like the way she gets low on the saddle and can use the whip and get that 2 kg claim. You use that to big advantage and be really competitive. So I was able to video before her for the comments before the races and after the races, and I'll post that later in the week on the website, and you can see, especially if you're a young male or female and looking to make riding a career, you can see how a day in the life of a jockey actually pans out, and something about their pay, what they get paid, and how much they can earn, and maybe a career path. Really interesting to watch. I enjoyed doing that. So thanks, Amy. Anything worth following over the weekend? There's quite a few out of Rotorua I've posted on the website for subscribers, but one or two of note. Horse like Starry Nights sat 3 wide on a decent tempo and stuck on off a third, and that's one to watch out for. And what else? Oh, there's a horse called Trendy, got caught at the back of the field and didn't really get clear air until late in the race, and I think that's a nice horse to well placed next start. It's capable of winning a race very soon. Lots of others there we'll be keeping an eye on when they next start. If they're well placed, we'll be on. The Speedmap Special Arinto was interesting. Obviously didn't win, which is unfortunate, but they can't all win. She got back, and I thought that's fair enough, and they were going along in a reasonable tempo. The sectional shot wasn't too slow, it was even sort of tempo, and I think most people who backed her were thinking, okay Michael, get out and get going, follow those things in front. But he sat on the rail there and just waited for luck on the turn there, and found horse rump in front of him after the turning, and basically got no clear room in the straight. And I was surprised the stewards didn't ask the question, why didn't you get out and start tracking other horses around the top there when they got going? So I think that question should have been asked, but it wasn't. What else? Cox Plate, looking forward. I'm doing this on Monday night, and tomorrow morning on Channel 62 we have the stars going out in their track work and seeing how they work for the Cox Plate. I remember seeing it last year, it was really good. So I'm looking forward to that tomorrow morning. And I see Kavanagh's not going to start if it's too wet for Atlantic Jewel, but I see the forecast is rain during the week and odd shower, but that'll drain well, that track, and I think she will start, but you couldn't back her at less than $4, I feel. Actually, I'll bring up the market here, and $2.50, way too short. Couldn't back her at that. Why? Because when she got beaten by It's a Done Deal, she showed when the pressure's on, she was vulnerable, and although she won really well last start, it was just a sort of a canter and sprint home. And there's not going to be a canter and sprint home in the Cox Plate, so I just don't feel she's valued at $2.50 against good, strong, fit horses. A horse like Puissance de Lune, I think, is ideally suited to this race. He's going to go into it fit and have that Turnbull Stakes, which looks pretty good now with Faulkner winning it. I think he'll put the pressure on like Sunlight did in her Cox Plate wins. The pressure on well out. We'll put It's a Done Deal to the fitness test, which is the question mark over him, and Atlantic Jewel, where a true staying test is a question mark for her, especially if the track is sort of dead to slow. And I think Puissance de Lune is one for me at this stage, but I want to see the draws and map the race out and just work out which one is best suited. I've got a horse here, a good double figure odds I'm keen on. I won't mention it now, but I want to see how it draws and how it maps out. And if it gets a start, it'll be a great bet at good odds, even a place bet at good odds. What else? Okay, what have we got coming up this week? We've got Tiara on Wednesday. It's a pretty average sort of fields there, but may find one or two worth backing if the weather stays decent. Hastings on Thursday. Not bad noms there, so looking forward to some good racing there. Tuamutu on Friday, then back to Trentham on Saturday. Some nice stake money up for grabs there, and should get some nice horses coming along. And the Ellerslie and Canterbury on the same day. Right, I saw on Virtual Punter. Well done to Willie Wong. Wally Wong, sorry, not Willie Wong. How Wong are we? Wally Wong. came in with $6,740. And he holds in the Hall of Fame. He's actually running second now, so well done, Wally, to some excellent picking there. And the Paw still holds number one slot with $7,400 from the Grand in the Hand. Remember, you have an imaginary $1,000 to bet. You can bet on each race, but up to $1,000 total. You can have just say 2 or 3 bets if you want to. Proven really popular, and if you'd like to log on there, log on. There's might be a trial one this Saturday, this Thursday night as well on the dogs. So, and if you haven't used the ratings before, you might be able to have a free log into the ratings for the dogs on Thursday night. So you can use those to see if you can win that. I don't think we'll have any prizes, but you never know. So well done to Wally there, and hopefully we can find a few winners for subscribers during the week, and we're doing some good study, and with the decent tracks more consistently occurring now, we can analyse the form a bit better and find a few more winners with a bit of luck, a lot of luck. So good luck and good punting.